In a world of deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. You're listening to The David Knight Show.
Well, I guess it's sad news, but not unexpected. Many news organizations have picked up this report. America's addiction crisis laid bare. 2/3 of adults have a family member who is hooked on drugs or alcohol. 1 out of 10 have lost someone to an overdose. Is that surprising? No? And that doesn't even talk about sexual addictions to porn or fursuits or, whatever else this stuff is. I mean, it is amazing how enslaved our society is. And as we are enslaved to these things, which are really pressing on us immediately, the alcoholism, the drug abuse, the sexual addiction, as we are enslaved to these things, it's clear that, we're not going to be seeing the chains put on us by these people, the literal chains, not literal, but, the open air prisons that they're putting us into, and the wireless chains that they're forging on us as we go into all this stuff. No, we're going to be focusing on our obsessions, our addictions, those kinds of slaveries. We're going to be focused on, what happened to Trump after the election in 2020? We're not even going to take a look at what Trump did the first part of 2020. And so our hindsight is not 2020. It's only part of 2020. And it's misdirected away from the real issues, and we can't see what is coming for us in 2030. National Review, by the way, I talked yesterday about how this guy, Oliver Anthony, always have to think twice about that. It's got 2 first names. But I talked about the fact that he had been attacked, a lot of people did, by a Rolling Stones writer. Well, he's now been attacked by National Review. You got National Review executive editor has attacked Oliver Anthony. He says, I just don't understand this adulation of this guy. What is the big deal? It just goes to show how out of touch both the left and the right establishment are with what is happening here. Because there's a lot of people who see what's going on. That's part of his lyrics. You think we don't see, but we do. And I see it as a very encouraging thing. Now, the National Review editor looks at this and says, so what's the big deal? He's got a lousy job where they're not paying him. Well, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Go get an education, or go do this, or go do that. Maybe the National Review editor should ask himself what happened to that American ethic and why people have lost hope in that thing and are losing hope in a big way. Because he doesn't understand that. He doesn't understand why this resonates with people. It's because he's isolated from this. And John Nolte at Breitbart takes him on that. But actually, even John Nolte kind of misses that aspect of it. He says, come on, give me a break. This is art, right? And, don't take this quite so literally. But I do think that we should take it literally. And we need to understand where National Review is coming from. But I thought it was funny what John Nolte did. He said the best way to read these excerpts from National Review's hit piece on it is in the voice of Thurston Howell III. Jim Backus's character from Gilligan's Island. Yeah, it's just damn shame what the world's gotten to, that type of thing. But we can fix it, lovey. We don't just have to dream about it. That's what he said in his... That's a quote from his thing. We don't have to dream about it. We can fix it. Indeed, if we want to, we can fix it on our own, even if Washington is standing in our way or looking down its nose at us. Love, eh? He says he also suggests that Anthony remind everybody in a song of, quote, what makes America such a great land, a land of opportunity, not of guaranteed success. Love, eh? You're fit, you're an able-bodied man, and you're working overtime hours for BS pay, you need to find a new job, and you can do it. There's plenty of them out there. There's great jobs that don't require college degrees and all the rest of this stuff. Well, where does this come from? Maybe this National Review editor might want to go back and look at 2020, where we were told we were not essential, where people who had worked all their life in the American dream to have a small business had that small business crushed by the president and his minions, by the governors that he paid and the minions of that governor. These public health dictators telling you got to shut down your business. I'm sorry, I don't care. I said that really bothered me because I come from a tradition of that. Both my grandfathers had small businesses. My father had a small business. At one point in my life, I had a small business. I know how people work and how they pour themselves into that. And to just have some government bureaucrat, unelected, but bribed by the president, bribed by the governor as that tyranny trickles down to people. It's trickle-down tyranny was what Trump gave us. So I said all the time about this PPP stuff. I said, don't PPP down my back and tell me it's raining. This is trickle-down tyranny. Oh, here's a little bit of a stimulus check. Get used to it because we're going to put you on universal basic income because we're going to destroy your job. We're going to destroy your business and the rest of this stuff. Don't talk to me about the American work ethic if you're not going to criticize Trump for what he did. This is a response to what Trump did. This is a response to this 2030 stuff with Biden taking away everything from us, even taking away the conveniences that we have in terms of appliances, our freedom and our mobility to move around with automobiles. And they're taking all of it. They're not just taking the internal combustion engines. They're going to take the electric cars as well. Yeah, Biden is out there shutting off areas where we could mine uranium. Saying we're going to make this into a monument to some Indian tribes or something. You can't touch it. What's that about? And, so to paraphrase Obama, you like your electric car? You can keep your electric car in the garage because we're not going to have any electricity for you to charge it. There's not going to be anything to run the grid on. This is what is happening. You think we don't see it, National Review, but we do. You think we don't see it, Rolling Stone, but we do. And we see where you are as well. You leftist and rightist establishment elitists who skirt above all this stuff. Just amazing to see this. After being told they were non-essential. And, the other thing that we see, National Review, which maybe you don't see, is 80,000 IRS agents coming for us in a couple of years. What are they going to be for? They're going to be to shut us down.
The David Knight Show is a critical thinking super spreader. If you've been exposed to logic by listening to the David Knight Show, please do your part and try not to spread it. Financial support or simply telling others about the show causes this dangerous information to spread farther. People have to trust me. Trust the science. Wear your mask. Take your vaccine. Don't ask questions.
Using free speech to free minds. It's the David Knight Show.